Well, today we're gonna be camping out here at my usual place that I go squatching at. It's gonna be me and my dad. We were told there's some caves out back behind me. We're gonna try and find them. Um, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge probably. I think I found an easier way to get to them than the other way, but we'll find out. And we may be back again to them, but we're going to, me and my dad are going to hike back there and see what we see. There's going to be um, one of three possibilities of what we'll find. One, we won't find anything up there. Um, just some caves. Two, signs of a predator or a predator, like maybe a coyote or a large cat. Um, and three, uh, a naked hairy forest giant, Sasquatch. And a bonus would be we don't even find caves. We just find a ravine. Because supposedly these are in a ravine. Hopefully we find them. Hopefully I'm looking at the right location too. Um, but this should be interesting. It should be fun. Uh, right now it's like 3:30 or 4. My dad's coming, and we'll do it first thing in the morning. Um, but I'd also like to talk about a few things. There's knowns. There are unknowns. There are known unknowns. But then there's one more thing which is really interesting: an unknown known. Now, of course, we know what knowns and unknowns are. A known unknown is where you know something that you don't know. Basically, there's something that you're familiar with, but there's things about it that you're unfamiliar with, things that are unknown. Like it's going to be Christmas soon or your birthday soon or something. You know you're going to get presents, but you don't know what those presents are. So that's a good example. Now, for an unknown known, that's a whole different thing. That is where you think you know something, but you don't know that thing. You come to find out it's unknown to you, something that you thought you knew. This kind of delves into an area of semi-madness, if you will. Um, Things like the Mandela effect, where people think, massive amounts of people, not just one or two people, but massive amounts of people, whole generations of people, think that something is a certain way when in all reality it's not. The reality we've come to know. Things seem to be getting more unreal every day. But there's this movie that I'm sure most of you watching this could have sworn you've seen. You probably have memories of different parts of this movie and everything. It's a movie called Shazam, not the recent movie, because there's a recent movie called Shazam. This one has nothing to do with that. This one is supposedly from the 80s or 90s, in that era. They remember that the plot of it, a very simple plot, it's a kids' movie, was that Genie, played by Sinbad, the comedian, um, is trapped in a bottle and for thousands of years, and some kid, modern day kid for that time, finds it in an attic or antique shop or something like that, and releases him. He does, cool, fun kids magic stuff, whatever the kid wishes for. Um, that movie doesn't exist, never existed. At no point had Sinbad ever played a genie. There is no movie called Shazam like that. There is a movie called Kazam. And Kazam was was a genie that was played by Shaquille O'Neal. And so it could be that people are getting those things confused because the plot of that movie is almost the same thing. But then there's other things, like Fruit of the Loom, clothing brand. A lot of people remember that the logo for Fruit of the Loom was a cornucopia with fruit inside that was kind of spilling out. But that logo doesn't exist. It never did exist, allegedly. But everybody remembers it looking like that. All that's there now is just some fruit. There's no cornucopia. Or a horn of plenty, as it's also known as. Which is what cornucopia translated from Latin means in English. And Fruit of the Loom, the clothing brand itself, has went through painstaking lengths to prove that they've never had this logo, even though they have a patent for it or a copyright for it. They also have there's people that have articles of clothing from a long time ago that show the cornucopia on the tag and the logo. Another one is a great example is I don't remember the exact verse. Maybe it's Isaiah 53. It's in Isaiah, I know that. But where it talks about the lion shall lay down with the lamb. Well, it never says that. Never, ever. Not in any translation, not in any version. It does not say that at all. It says that the lion shall lay down with the wolf will lay down with the lamb. But it never says the lion will lay down with the lamb. And we have this dating back into like the 1800s, I've seen, where people swear up and down that verse is in the Bible, but it's not. So where do we get that from? Where does all this stuff come from? Well, we don't know. I have a theory that maybe it's culturally influenced. That our brains have kind of like an autocorrect in them where for things that we remember them the way we think the way we think that they should be instead of the way they actually are. Other people believe crazy stuff like parallel dimension shifting. I say it's crazy because there's no way to prove it. It's a harebrained theory. They watch too many Marvel movies, I think. And they listen to goofballs on YouTube. So, anyways, that's my little spiel about the known, the unknown, the known unknowns, and the unknown knowns. And of course, there's also another category you're probably thinking of. That's unknown unknown. Well, an unknown unknown is just something you don't know, and then there's known knowns, which are just things you do know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this trip. I hope, at least, It's beautiful out here. Beautiful weather. And it's the beginning of February. Beautiful weather. Unrealistic weather. It's like 60-something degrees. It's not even going to get below freezing tonight, or anywhere near freezing tonight.